Okay, good morning, good morning. I'm just gonna send a few files before I get going. Makes it so much easier. Give people a chance to come in. Good morning, Chess. Good morning, Maska. And good morning, Grumbardour. Grumbardour? That is an awesome name and awesome outfit, Grum. I remember when that outfit came out, I was like, I need that. Okay, let's I have an idea. I had one idea and then like a few, well, like right before, I'm like, oh no, I can over engineer this idea and make it even better. So that's why I'm like, okay, I gotta just change my images, like basically change the entire theme in like 5 minutes, but I think it'll be even better. All right. I don't do anything I do everything under a deadline and at the very last minute. So let me go live on CBD. If anybody wants to jump in, you're welcome to come here. You do not have to. Oh, and I have to do it from this computer. 1 second. Okay. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Good morning, Fred. Welcome. Thank you everybody for joining me with another Tuesday morning Builder Basics. Sorry, last week didn't work out. I didn't my Wi-Fi didn't work out. I don't know, like the outlet to it is by my feet, and my feet get cold, so I have a heating pad. So I think I might have like pushed the heating pad into the Wi-Fi router, but I couldn't fix it. So Sin was trying to help me, and then yeah, I was like trying to do it on my hotspot, and then Sin is like, "Oh heck no!" And the frames were dropping crazy, so finally just scrapped last week. Yeah, so that gives us this week to work with it. So feel free to join me in CBD if you have questions. That there's also the office hours with Dr. Crillo. Dr. Crillo knows way more, like he's the guy to ask like for all the technical stuff. I'm always going to try to keep this really simple just because I think it gets overwhelming really quick if you're a new builder and you don't have building skills. My hope is that eventually we get this into Blender and we start like, I want to get everybody to the point where you can use Blender or you can use Creator Hub to do what you want to do. But we are going to take it like slow so that everybody has a chance to kind of go at their pace. Because for me, I hate when it goes too fast and I'm like understanding everything and then all of a sudden I'm lost and I don't know how to catch up. All right, so let's see. Oh, Sin, I'm trying not to do the Control Alt thing, but I don't. Sometimes you just gotta do it. So Sin told me like, don't do that with the screen. But there, I did it just for a second because I have to open the Creator Hub. Right. And he messages me every time I say that. He's like laughing in the background. Okay, so let's jump over to the Creator Hub. Oh, look at that. It looks like there is an update. So I'm going to update. One thing I've said before, but I'll say it again, is like I had some kind of crazy thing that wasn't, my build wasn't working, and I was so mad, and I was in, Decentraland help channels, probably less patient than I should have been. And then finally come to figure out like it was because I didn't have the newest version of the Creator Hub updated. And so after apologizing, now I make sure that if there's an update, I always use the update. I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna play nice. So I think it's a black screen for a second. Here we go. I'm just gonna check and make sure that everybody can see that okay. There we go. Okay, so as always, download the Creator Hub to get started. And once you're in here, if you're going to make a new scene, just hit New Scene. There's always templates. Oh, and did you guys see there's new templates? The party pad, and I think there's another one coming. So really cool to see all that coming. But we're not doing a party pad. We're going to do an empty scene, and I'm going to call this one an escape room because I think escape rooms. Oh, I can't have that name. I already have it. Okay. Let's do holiday escape room. Um, you can tell I already made an escape room. So escape rooms, I think, are really, really, really good. Or like they could be really fun and useful in Decentraland because you don't need to have a specific event in order to have that build be useful. Like if you think about like the cantina, I have to be having a party in order for there to be a whole lot to do. I mean, you could go sit on that swing. You could swing for a long time, but really, like, you need to have an event. You need to have a specific planned event in order for a place like the cantina to be functional. Same thing, with a lot of clubs. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that we as Decentraland, it would benefit us to start looking for ways to make evergreen content. And I don't know what, if that's the official name, but that's what I'm calling it. Evergreen. Like, you don't need to be hosting a party. You don't need to have somebody there. You can just step in at any time and enjoy the heck out of it. And so I'm, looking at different ways that we can do that. And it's like the parkour was one way. If you get to the top of the parkour, take a picture, tag me on X. I don't have to be present in order to do that. So I think that those are like, as we go forward, I think like let's create as many of those as we can. And so an escape room, I think, is a fun way to do that. Like really creative, and like honestly so easy to just swap out a theme for whatever you want to do. I'll kind of explain more of that in a second. So you guys know me, I like to do the grass on the ground first, and that tells my brain this is my one piece parcel to work with. I also want to keep working with one piece parcels. I know we could go to worlds. I know we could go, huge, but I do think that it's a good challenge to build on one piece parcels. And then it also is just like, that is what most people start out with. So I think that's where I'll keep trying to build, even though I wanted to do two parcels on this one. All right, next thing I'm going to do is throw an asset in. I don't even care if what it is, but I'm going to take that and move it to the top of my build until I notice that the yellow box goes around it when it hits the height perimeter. Well, am I there yet? Or I have to be there. I have to be close. There we go. Okay. So again, I'm doing this because it tells my brain this, Canessa, is what you got to work with. You can go this far down and about that far up. Later, I'm just going to take that tub or whatever, that fountain asset, and just get rid of it. Some builds you don't need to do that, but I don't like. To me, I really like to have the restraints in there and know where my limitations are. Okay, so this week, escape room. How the heck do we do an escape room? I don't know about you guys. I've never done an escape room in the real world. It would be fun to go do one, but I think the idea is you go in and you have to escape. And so, I would love to find a way where like it'll actually throw your avatar if you don't get out in time or something like that, or like giant walls are coming to crush you. There's a lot of things we could do in Blender, but I want to keep it in the Creator Hub for now. So in my mind, like when the avatar comes on the scene, they're going to stand right over here. We have to solve the problem of like, how do we get into the escape room and how do we get out? And if we just make like a simple walkway, let's just use this as an example, like a treehouse. If we just walk in, and like if that's our escape room, we walk in and we can get out, I think that doesn't make it very challenging or scary. Like it's too easy. Like, okay, I can just like I gotta go to my mom's house. I'm just gonna check out. Peace out. Go. I want to make it trap us. Like I want I want us to not be able to get out. And I think that there's a really cool way that we can do that by changing the spawn point. I'm probably just gonna leave that down there because I don't know. It's I like having something for perspective too. So when we come on this world, I want us to walk in and then get somewhere where we're trapped. We can't get out of it. And so I've thought about like, how can I do that? How can I do that? First of all, I think I'm gonna make the trap. I'm gonna actually here wall. I'm gonna make a black. Oh, back. I'll do a black wall. No, no, no. I'll do this one. I changed kind of my idea at the last minute. It doesn't really matter for this one. But what I want to do is create like a prison, a little box, right? Where I am now trapped in. So I'm going to duplicate this because I just want to build kind of quick at this point. Like I don't want to get too crazy. Duplicate and then see this the asset builder used to be able to let you rotate multiple items. But okay, this is really that one. That one I'm going to delete. There's certain little things I think that you just kind of learn and they just make you go faster. Like it's just going to be easier if I match up this wall over on the right and then just duplicate it and then move it to the left instead of trying to do that. It's so funny. After you work in Blender and then you come to the Creator Hub, your fingers are still trying to do the same thing. Okay, so there's my box that I can trap somebody in, but I need a floor. I need to spell floor, right? Let's see. Floor. Oh, this one is a warm grid. I like a warm grid. I think I want to do a holiday themed escape room for this. Um, I think that that would be funny because I actually had everything ready to do like a dystopian theme, and then I was like, you know what? That's I mean, it's fun, great dystopian everything. It's so fitting for the metaverse. But then I'm like, it'd be better just to do something like, what if you're trapped in Santa's workshop and you have to get out? Or trapped in the gingerbread house. That's actually so fitting. All right, so I have a box, and since all of these assets came from the Creator Hub, all of them have colliders built in. And this part is really important just because I want to be able to capture my prey, whoever it is. I'm not going to worry about the roof right now. I'm just going to worry about this. I'm not even going to worry about how you're getting out of this box because honestly, have, we'll figure that out in just a second. So I'm thinking, usually a parcel of land, you start from the bottom and you go up. I'm thinking that we should start from the top and force people to go down. It's a good way for us to get like our captive audience. All right, right there. I don't need the pool now because I got the top of my scene. All right, so I think if somebody was in here, they wouldn't be able to jump out very easily. So now how do I get somebody up there? And this is also something really useful, not just for escape rooms, but everything else that people are doing. And it's changing the spawn point, making the spawn point wherever you want it to be. So I'm sure everybody, I'm sure builders have like really cool ways of figuring this out. Um, I just I kind of like using the pumpkin. Um, I don't know why, but I don't know. It's just like pumpkin is it stands out. So I'm gonna remove the pumpkin. The pumpkin is just a placeholder, but I'm gonna move it to wherever I want to have my avatar spawn in because I need to know some coordinates. I need to know my XY coordinates. So if you are making a build and you're making a club, you're not making an escape room, you're like, no, this doesn't help me at all. this is how you can get somebody to come in to your scene wherever you want them to. So I think it's really, really useful because, the first impression, that's what people go with. So the first time they see your scene, that's pretty meaningful. Um, okay, so I've got the pumpkin. I'm gonna go back over here to scene. And this scene, we didn't do a lot of the layout stuff, but this one right here, this is where like all the nuts and bolts happen. If it was a car, this would be like the engine, I think, behind the car. I mean, that's what I think. Other people might say differently, but yeah, for me, that's the engine. Okay, so we've got our pumpkin, we've got our scene. Over here in the settings, we're gonna find right here the spawn settings. And so this is where your avatar is spawning in. So right now, my avatar spawns in at 1.50, 1.5. So if you guys remember, seventh grade algebra, or not algebra, I used to love teaching XY coordinates. That's right here. This is where you're spawning in. So if I had my pumpkin, just duplicate him, bring him down. The good thing about having some asset and moving it around is it just tells you the chords. So it tells you kind of exactly where you want to be, which lets you just test it so much faster than if you were like troubleshooting and trying to figure out. So pumpkin's coordinates right now, I'm watching over here, 9, a little bit further. Okay, so like right there, essentially. And we all know that's where the avatar spawns in, is right over here. 1.23, close enough. All right, so I'm going to kill that pumpkin. I don't need him. So this guy now has told us where we want our avatar to be. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to remember that. So I'm going to write it down. 5.59, 1907, 4.14. So Mr. Pumpkin kind of has served this purpose. We could smash him, but I'm just going to keep him for a second. You're going to go back into scene and under the spawn settings, type in Mr. Pumpkin's coordinates. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be close. If you leave Mr. Pumpkin, he's going to push you to the side. You're not going to be able to spawn right where you want. 4. Here you go. So now when my avatar comes into the scene and reloads, it's going to put the avatar up here. And they're going, gravity affects them, gravity falls. So it's going to spawn them right here. They're going to fall down in, and boom, they're in an escape room. They cannot get out. Literally, you can't get out because I don't have a door. So now I think we're going to kill Mr. Pumpkin, compost him, whatever. We don't need him anymore. But we have to kind of explain to our users, like, if this is in world and they just walk up to the scene, nothing will happen. They'll just stand there and be like, okay, this is lame. So we have to give them instructions on what to do. Because I'm imagining most people would probably teleport to a scene like this. So I don't, like the non-coder, like since I can't code, I have to find other ways to do stuff. So if I was a coder, I could put like a user interface over the top of it. But I'm not, so I'm just gonna use my low tech hacks, and I'm just gonna make an image. And then I'm gonna come over to signage that I've already created. And since this is a holiday one, it's holiday themed. So this right away is gonna, I'm gonna make it bigger so we can see it. This is going to give the viewer instructions. Type reload into the chat to restart the experience. So that's what is going to get your avatar up to the beginning of the escape room. And I'm thinking so that's like good if somebody walks onto the scene. Actually, then they could probably walk any part of the scene. So it should be down here, but I also need one up above, because let's say that this is a parcel in world and somebody teleports to it and then they end up in your gingerbread box. They're going to be like, what do I do next? And so I think that, you know, having it very clear what to do is a good idea. So if you land and you're in this just tiny little gingerbread box, type reload into the chat. Okay. I think that's also like if you got stuck throughout the build and you can't make it out, and it's this escape room and you can't get away, then you know that like reload will start it over again. I'm going to show you, I'm going to jump over in Decentraland and show you a little bit of that. Um, so I'm going to run away from everybody. I'll be right back. Um, I made a little example, like a test scene with all my little contraptions. It's definitely experimental. It's got stuff moving all over. But this is I wanted to like see if it would work. So basically like this, imagine this is our escape room. You walk on the parcel. Okay, this is lame. I can't do anything. I don't know how to get it started. So I'd have the sign here and then I'd hit reload. And then because I had the same thing happen, this is what it does. Same thing. I did a placeholder. It pushed me a little to the side because Mr. Pumpkin has to stay. So it gets you up here where you want to be. I gotta jump out of this thing. Sorry, just have to. Yeah. So that is, I guess, like when I'm creating something, that's kind of my like thought process as I want to test it just to see like does this even work? Like will coming on spawning onto the land, changing the spawn point get you to a place where then like the experience can start. And so rather build I learned this the hard way, rather than build the entire thing um and then find out it doesn't work, it's just so much easier to experiment. So if anybody ever wants to like go check out that parcel, that is kind of like where I do a lot of like test deployments and stuff. All right, so that proves that our theory is sound. Now we got to get back and figure out how are we going to get somebody out of this room. And I think that like this is the part where the design process, especially on a good escape room, I mean, I could make a really simple one, but I want it to be good. Like I want you to have to think about it. That's why I also said I don't think we're going to finish it today, but we can get started. Um, I wanted this all black because I think if it was all black, it would be very disorienting and it would be hard to know like how to get out of it. I haven't actually tested this, but I'm going to try to see can I kind of create like a disorienting illusion here. Obviously the floor gives it away. See if I can do that. And you know what? I'm realizing immediately I should take all these assets to the ground because it's so much easier to work down at the ground and not yeah, like just be able to move stuff and see how much room you have. Okay, so it's not really it's not the like illusion that I would think, oh, this is gonna be cool, but that's okay. This is just I just need to get people out of this room into the next part. All right. So, yeah, that's I mean that's cool enough. It's kind of like if you had these striped walls all over the place, that'd be kind of cool. All right, so I think I want to take the build to the ground and then build it down there and then lift it back up. So I'm gonna leave the poster here because that'll tell me like how far up we have to go. Um, I think it's just way easier to build down here because now immediately I can see how far I can build. Treehouse no longer serves this purpose, so I'm going to put that out there. The side, I don't know, just move that. Oh, not the wall. There we go. Okay, so I think a different floor would be better. I think that I'm going to get rid of that one. Maybe a solid floor. Actually, I'm going to do like that. Okay, so I'm thinking Christmas gingerbread house, but I think a solid floor would be better for like creating an illusion. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do this because it kind of looks like gingerbread, but this is, I guess, like this is not the part of the build that I think is the cool part. So it's just going to get us like to that cool part. So it doesn't really matter. Uh, let's make it big. Okay. And we have to have a hole. So, like, I hope I'm explaining myself well enough to say, like, this escape room, I can imagine it having multiple floors. Like, maybe there's top floor and then middle floor, like floor number one, floor or floor two, and then number one. So maybe like trying to think, four floors. This is actually really wide, so I think we could go much smaller on that one. For the other escape room I'm building, like I really wanted it to be nice, and so I have it all written out, like literally like drawn out everything so that I can see like how they're going to get to each floor. And the challenge with this right here is that there are colliders in this, and so I can't just let somebody walk and like fall through the floor because they can't get through this. If I was doing it like the other one, I'm building in Blender, so it's really easy to put a hole and nobody can see it. So that's like the next part. I'm going to show you how to do that, how to use the Creator Hub to do kind of the things that we want to do in Blender. All right, but first, let's see if we can make a just a maze, just like doesn't have to be super complicated. It's actually so easy to make a maze once you get like a few of these done because you just move them around. And this is not going to be perfect by any means. The also the reason that I'm doing this for like Christmas is there's the contest coming up, the build contest. So if anybody, is like, "Oh man, I'd love to try that." I mean, maybe I don't know, maybe this is a like a something that people would want to try to do, get a holiday escape room. All right. And then the other cool thing about this is like once you get it done, you can kind of just cookie cutter it and like change out the appearance for like each holiday. You could change it out instead of Christmas, it could be Halloween. I mean, people would probably kind of know, like, all right, I know how to get through the wall, so it's not a challenge. All right, let's copy all of these. And that's, oh, no, it didn't build, did it not duplicate it? Ah, okay, I hate that you have to like select them. Like, one, two. I think Creator Hub hates me. I mean, I like pushed it to its poor little limits recently with my poppy build. I put in so many poppies. It was like taking 30 seconds to move every asset because it just is way more than that thing can handle. All right. So now we kind of have a maze. It's not going to be the world's most challenging maze, but I think like an escape room, having something like physically disorienting like this, but then having something like mentally disorienting, like a puzzle or a game, and then maybe having something else like a parkour. Um, I think that would be like a good escape room, something that tests you on multiple levels. So I think that is good. Duplicate. So now they're gonna come up, they're gonna be stuck in here, and we need to make a way for them to get out. And I want them to go down. This is the top floor. So the next one, um, I think I gotta do it. I think I gotta mess with this floor. If it was a solid floor, you wouldn't see a break in the pattern. So what I'm gonna do is reduce it or like make it a little bit smaller. And I'm gonna put a hole over here, which I think is not gonna look very good with this floor, to be honest, but it is what it is. Um, because if I had like a black floor and then underneath everything was black, it would be a hole through the floor that you couldn't see. I think that like that, yeah, that would be better. But we'll just do it like this just for time. So I'm going to duplicate this guy. Now bring it up over here. Oh, actually, no, let's make the hole up there. So, all right. And hopefully that's big enough for an avatar to get through. So this right here is my pathway to the next level. I gotta move that down. It does a cool flicker. Like you could use that special effect for some stuff, but not for what we're looking for today. Actually, I'm gonna move it up, otherwise we'll lose it. Okay, so like in theory, now that you've got this, you could just sit here while you're watching TV, swap out every wall for some other theme, and then just like boom, you have an escape room for every season of the year. You could rotate it so it's not exactly the same. But that's it. That's our first floor. I'm gonna now I have to like bring lift everything up. So I'm gonna try to grab it. Oh, I could actually here we go. Work smarter, not harder, right? Floor. Oh, and what did 50 say? That you could hit shift and do them all. I tend to be very like I don't know, methodical. Like I'm just gonna grab them all like that one at a time. Oh, I did want their image. This one. That one I don't want. That's our place marker. Okay, so now I can move it up. It was way easier to build that down there than if I wanted to try to build it up here. And there I go. I have like a pseudo escape room. Right now it's just a simple maze, so somebody have to run through there. And then this is how they get to the next floor. I also had an idea, like, what if everybody in Decentraland made a floor like this? And then we could just share them, and then like I could give my floor to somebody, and it would just you could make like endless creations. It'd be pretty cool. Now I know that there's like some sloppy building. See that? I think I can make it less sloppy really quick just by doing that. Um, I would definitely go back and just make it all like look pretty, but for the sake of just kind of going faster, I'm just gonna leave it like this. All right, so the next part is where I want it to be a little bit more like Christmas theming. And I think like if I was really gonna take my time on this, I would want a story to go with it. Like the image would talk about like, oh no, you're in Santa's workshop. He he only has 5 hours to get everybody to Christmas or something more fun like that. But for today, we'll just be in Santa's workshop. I don't know why we're there, but like we'll figure that part out later. All right, so the next part, I want to bring in some of my own theming and not use the asset packs. Well, actually, I'm going to use the asset packs. I'm going to do the smart item, but I'm going to make it a little bit more unique. Image, it always throws it under there, so lift it up. And now I want you to think you're walking down like Santa's hallway. And so um, this is literally created it like right before. Um, so I think that is what Santa's hallway might look like. Now, the reason that I'm using an image, obviously, so I can like control the theming, but there's no collider right now. If I there's a few settings I could change, and then suddenly that would you would not be able to walk through it. But right now, I want to create a secret passageway out of Santa's workshop because it adds to that like, escape room vibe where you can't get out. And I don't yeah, I don't want people coming out of my escape room alive. Oh gosh. I sound so diabolical. All right, so I'm just gonna start kind of like lining the edge of this. And just a reminder, like if I do something that you guys are like, that's really slow building, or like that's counterintuitive. Like I do have bad habits that I've created probably over the years of like certain things not working. Like there used to be a glitch that if you duplicated something right here, it would duplicate it and offset it like a tiny bit to the left and a tiny bit up. So there's things that I realize like through teaching this class that I do that are like holdovers from I don't know, just like things I shouldn't be doing. So if you ever see that, let me know. Because like the preview used to be broke for me, so I never use the preview. I always do deploy in world, and the old guy was like, "Yeah, just use the preview," and I'm like, "Dang, like it works." Okay, all right. So there's one wall. Um, let's duplicate these. Yeah, I can't tell you how nice it is not having them get offset. That. So I'm imagining once you get down here, um, maybe it's like more narrow. I do have to think about how big. Okay, that hole is about that big, so I should definitely give room. Oh, and these are like not high enough. Okay. If I want to make all of these the right size, like higher, I'm going to select them all because that way I'm selecting them all at once. It's just way easier than having to eyeball it. I don't think that's tall enough. All right. And one thing I should do just to kind of force my brain to like understand how big this is, I'm gonna throw a bike in there. Ah, okay. That's like twice as big as I thought it was gonna be. So I think I need to go way bigger on these. And I can also do that. That's gonna make it much easier to build as well. Let's see. Okay. So since I made them wider now, I gotta stretch them out. And you get that flicker when you have more than one asset on something. I looked it up years ago. It's the computer is trying to render both at the same time, and it can't determine which one is the appropriate asset. So you get this like flicker. It's always interesting when you see that in games. Like Fortnite had this awesome festival last year, big festival, and I'm in the air and I see that flicker. I'm like, oh, bro, somebody had one job and they didn't get it and they didn't do enough testing. All right. So, okay, I could sit here all day and like get it perfect, but that's not what I should be doing. Okay, so there's a hallway. I'm going to duplicate this one. And I'm just gonna like build an example. We don't have to build out the whole thing because it's gonna take quite a while to do. I think I'll do this one in a few parts because there's like multiple awesome things we could do. Oh, wait, let's see. Probably the easiest way. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is where I have to think, like, what do I want it to look like? Do I want it, if the person is going to come in here, and you know what we could do? We could just like throw a campfire there and be like, all right, that indicates that is my point where they're coming in, just to kind of give you like a reference. So do I want them to immediately be able to walk out here? I kind of want them to have to walk down the hall and then have an opening right here. Or actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna ixnay that. I'm gonna do something totally different. I'm just going to do without making it too complicated. I'm just gonna do it like this. Oh, I can't stand that flicker, to be honest. Duplicate. All right. So I know right now it just looks like a boring hallway, and it is. Um, so imagine you're down here and like run. Oops. The candy canes are all on the ground, so we gotta lift those up. All right. And I will explain kind of the method and the madness in just a second, but I gotta get rid of that flicker. I don't know if you guys are like this, but like I'll sit there and like stop everything and just mess with this one little thing that's not even that important, but it'll like delay everything. Okay. Oh, gotta lift everything up. I want to see those candy canes. There. Okay. So now when you spawn down here, you're going to be in this hall. I'll put like some kind of roof up above it. But right now, your avatar can just run right through it. There's nothing to stop them from doing that. And I'm going to make this panel special. So instead of having this guy there, I am going to add that. And actually, no, he's not going to. Okay. So at first glance, he looks like all of his buddies, but he's got one little thing that's different. He's got a snowflake right here. And so that's going to be kind of like a really tiny clue that something different is happening with that one. All right. Sometimes I want to jump up ahead and I'm like, nope, no, 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 don't confuse them. Okay. Yep, I think that's a good place to keep going. So here's my thought. If I was doing this in Blender, I would build it very different. I would just make a hole in the collider and then just leave a duplicate mesh and you could just jump right through it. Because I want it to appear like there's no way out. And people are going to be like, what the heck? I'm in this hall and there's no way out. Like, I can't get out. This is stupid. And this is trolling me. But in fact, I want there to be a secret way out. And that's what the snowflake indicates. In the Mardi Gras build that I built last year, I had I had so much fun making a secret path that like literally it went around most of the entire build. And I wanted to get you up to the roof. And the logical way to get to the roof would be like, okay, let's look up above. Like, where do you get? So like how do you get up there? So I wanted the way up to the roof to be very far away from the roof. So I made it down into the bookstore. So, and obviously I would love to go through my bookcase and find Narnia. I've always, like that, like the bookcase is the perfect place for a secret path. Actually, maybe we should put like an oven here that you have to walk through the oven to get out. That would be cool. So anyway, that in that build, I had no way of telling people like how to get through, but on this one, I'm going to give like a little hint. And actually, it's very logical that you would go through that last panel to get out. So I'm actually gonna switch it up. All right, there. Okay, so now I think, if you get stuck and you're like, how do I get out? How do I get out? Um, if the doorway is just right down here, you can just walk out. So I also want to make it like you can't get out unless you jump. So that's going to force people to look around a lot more. All right, so how do we know how to like, well, it's straightforward to do this in Blender. How the heck are we going to do it in the Creator Hub? And that is where we're going to go down and we're going to look at Collider. Oh, did I spell it wrong? I always spell it wrong. Collider. Okay, maybe they call it something different. Or maybe I'm looking in Genesis City and it's not in there. So it's in Smart Items, and there's a few different shapes of colliders. The collider's cylinder, oh, they call it invisible cylinder. Okay, in Blender, and I want to use language that's going to help you when you go to Blender. In Blender, it's called a collider, and it's the thing that's in an asset that prevents you from walking through it. In the Creator Hub, I could set the colliders to visible, so every visible object has a collider in it. But I don't want to do that for this because otherwise it's going to make a solid wall. This is so this is like a very different way of building because we want this wall to be a tricky wall. So you're going to bring in the collider, and now I'm going to try my best to match it up to all of this around me. Is this tedious and time consuming? Yeah, it is. It is, but that's okay. Like when we're just starting out, like it'll actually go pretty fast. This first one, I'm gonna make smaller because I want people, when they get to that snowflake, to have to jump over it. Now, I don't know, could an avatar jump over that? I feel like it might be too high. So maybe right there. Um, and now, oops, I did the blender thing. Control D doesn't do that here. All right, duplicate. And now the rest of these are going to be tall. So that is the one place where you can sneak through my gingerbread wall. And the nice thing about these, the colliders, I can just make it the length of the hallway. Like it doesn't have to match up with each one of these. Uh, go. And then duplicate that. So, like, this is what I mean. If you made a couple floors like this, and then you just change out the images, but you leave the colliders there, and rotate it, mix it up a little bit. Once you get this, like, I want to call it like a skeleton. Once you get the skeleton of the build done, the branding or the stuff on top, that's just like the flesh on top. So this, even though it's a little time consuming, you could just recycle this over and over again. So that guy, I want to duplicate, move over here. It's just a collider. I know it doesn't, you can't even see it, but I'm like, my brain wants to match up. All right, now this guy, duplicate, rotate. Duplicate the last one, and we're done. Okay, remove our fire because we don't need to. Oops, did I duplicate it? Muscle memory. All right, delete the fire. We don't need to know that. Now it looks like the walls are blue, but they're not. They're actually these are invisible. I am gonna move it just a touch because if your avatar walks up to this now, it'll put its hand on the collider, and I want it to be right next to the image if possible, so that you don't get that feeling of like, oh, there's something here. Like I can't put my hand there because there's an invisible wall. Plus, I like seeing all of this. Okay, that's fine. I'll leave that. Okay, and now I need to put a roof on it. I could just leave it and then this is what you would see above it, which is pretty cool. It's like it's a gingerbready texture. Um, but we have frosting up here. So I think I'm gonna try to match that frosting. Let's see. So I'm gonna do floor. Okay. So looking it up in cream or magnolia. I don't know about magnolia. Doesn't look like magnolia. Looks like white. All right, so there we go. Frosting. For the Halloween uh, build that I made, I made gingerbread houses that were like haunted gingerbread. Because there is something awesome and diabolical about those two together, coming together. Maybe it's Hansel and Gretel, that like a children's story. Why does that have two there? Oh, that's weird. What is going on with that? Oh, that's weird. It's weird that a children's story is like talking about an old woman that will put the children in the oven and cook them up. Although, as a parent, I've had my moments, so totally checks out. But don't tell them that. All right, let's see. Does that match? No. Oh, that's gonna cover. All right. So I'm gonna make sure that you can't see this peeking through. I will have to like align this, well, way better than I did. Um, there we go. Okay. So I could bring the stuff up there up, but I think I want to get it nice down here before I go up. Oh gosh, look at that. Doesn't match up. Who built this? Jeez, Vanessa. All right. So I'm gonna grab everything, hopefully. One, two, three, four, six, seven. Okay, this is maybe not the most efficient way to do it, but that's how I do it. That's why building in Blender, it does have so many advantages that you can do stuff like this, like, um, really, really quickly, really easily. Um, and I think everybody's gonna love, like, once they get in there and see the stuff that they can do. All right, so this this does not match up at all, and like that would bother me, but that's okay. What I can do at the end is just put a wrapper on this entire thing. Like basically, oh, you know what? I'll make it a giant present. Like, here you go. Here's your present. All right. And that would make it like so much easier just to, um, you won't have to worry about the sides. Or if there's places where the floor sticks out, just like a real cake that you messed up, just put some frosting there, right? And nobody will know the difference. Or maybe this whole thing should be a um, gingerbread house. All right, that is gonna look bad. I gotta fix that. Yeah, so there's definitely some places where I don't I don't know. Maybe I didn't measure it at all. Actually, you guys, like that's some that's some gross mismeasurement right here. But I'm not gonna worry about that. We can figure that. We can fix that really quick. The other thing we need to do is put a floor. Um, let's let's just duplicate this one I think that that's a good one to use. Duplicate. So see how it's getting way harder to see it. Um, so I can go over and then just, if I want this guy, like I don't want to move it, like I want it to stay there, but I gotta see through. You can just hit that eyeball and it just kind of makes him go away. So I guess that's another way to build. Like if you wanted to build from the bottom up, not the top down, that would be pretty easy, probably. Probably a better way to do it than what I'm doing. Okay, I gotta get that guy to hide. When you have more assets, it can get really hard to find them. That one. All right. Now you can see in there, because that's kind of the nice thing too about blenders. It's really easy to build like in pieces. See, I just did that. There used to be a glitch. You used to have to like click away and click on it again. And I think this one, it just was off the screen. Okay. Oh, and then that floor, we actually want to cover the hole. Okay, let's move this wall over, and then I think we will be done for the day. All right. So, yeah, I think that's good enough. And so now, in order to get all of the things that I want to see, I'm going to click on all my little closed eye buttons and then double check, does everything show up? Yes, yes it does. Does this look good? I don't know if it, yeah, there we go. Oh, I see the roof shining through the floor, so I gotta bring that down just a smidge. There we go. And there's a lot of things I could do to like make it, obviously you're gonna see there's a floor right here. So we could do some cool things. If you use the same idea where the image, like we could take an image of this floor and put it right there, and then you wouldn't realize that there's a secret wall to get through. You could do that really easy. But since it's 9:58, we've been doing this for an hour. I think I'm going to deploy it and stop right here, and then we can go and see how it works. All right. I think we deleted the other poster. So I'm going to do this. Image do. Oh, what did it do? Oh, I see what I did. It's a duplicate. No, it's not. Okay. Maybe it's in the wall. Yeah, there it is. I love this sideboard because in the past that did not exist, and I literally would like I had like sparkles once, like little fluttering stars that were the size of that dot. And I put it in my scene and it was out of bounds, but I could not find it. It was on a 9-piece parcel. So I was looking like, where is the dot? And I never deployed it because I could never find the dot. I had to rebuild the entire thing. So just being able to go find all of your assets, you could rage quit and just delete everything and it'd be great. It could still work. All right, bicycle, done with you, delete. I see right here. Oh, my scene contains too many triangles. You bet it does. You don't know. And it's going to keep doing that. And I hope they never change it. Okay, there we go. Let's publish to the scene up there. I'm going to get rid of the, like the little paper house. I'm going to deploy it. And then in like 15 minutes, we should be able to jump in and take a look at it. Next week, I'm going to keep going. we'll get a little bit more technical with like the next floor, or like I think it'll be this floor because you'll get through the wall. I don't know, maybe, oh, it'd be fun. What if you come out of the oven? Oh, that's horrible. That's not Christmassy at all. That's just like the Hansel and Gretel fairy tale. Yeah, I'm like, I think because it was just Halloween, my brain is still like, then we could have like horrible, diabolical gingerbread people. And so I don't know. Maybe we don't need, maybe we just need to have fun, Christmassy stuff, and that's good. So this will take a little bit of time to deploy. I'm gonna check the chat and see if anybody has questions. Uh, all right. Thank you everybody for being here. I know it might be like super simple, but still really, really good, I think, for everybody, to be able to look back at these recordings too if you're just starting out. Then you don't have to know Blender or coding. Alrighty, check the chat. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any questions, but thank you everybody for being here. And let me know, like, during the week if you have questions that come up. Like, it's really helpful. A lot of times somebody will send me a question and then I can like find a way to put it into this. And then, slowly we'll get to a point where I don't know, we kind of we'll figure it all out eventually. Yeah, next week we'll keep working on this one. I usually like to be like one and done, but for this, I think it will be cool to use, to dig a little bit deeper. So, thank you everybody for being here today. Hope you have a good week. Keep building and love y'all. Bye bye.